on Reddit, which I didn't even know was legal, they have a whole not safe for life category. Yeah, of people dying. So, like, if that grotesque shit can get on the internet, I guess anything can.
I mean, they used to have something like that back in the day. I believe it used to be called, Donnie, if you can quote me, Faces of Death.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that, yeah.
And that shit was insane.
And they say it was real.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you literally see people, like, getting lined up against a wall and shot and all types
fucking hell, yeah. But again, like, you see that in movies, too. So, like, could it have been fake? You fucking pray. But Lord knows.
It was real. There was like
you think it was real
episodes, and they were like VHS on. This is back VHS days.
What? You know, I would have assumed that it was in the internet days because I feel like the internet's the Wild West. So that was VHS.
It was definitely AOL times.
AOL.
For sure.
We all heard that. We're like, let me have some titties. I can't wait for this modem to dial up. It's going to take 10 minutes and I'm going to sit here.
You know, have you been doing porn as long as VHS porn was being made? Were you a part of that era?
I've been doing it for 12 years, and it was definitively DVD then. But you know, like the middle of the country is so behind, they probably still put it on VHS. You know what I mean?
I feel like
at the end, you know?
I feel like when somebody said they've been in it 12 years, you got to kind of treat it like dog years. If they're 12, they're really 24.
No, really.
It's like you got to double it up.
Because porn years are like dog years. I think it's like times 7 for a dog. I've been doing this for 95 years, basically.
It's got to be at least times 2, right? For a human in porn.
Yeah, because especially for now, male performers often have like Johnny Sins. How long has he been doing it? Kieran Lee, Manuel, Tony Rebus. You know, some of these guys have been doing it for decades. But other than like Nina Hartley, Julia Ann, there aren't that many women who have been doing it for decades and decades. I don't know why.
It's crazy.
I love it. I love it like the men love it, I guess. Yeah. I'm just like still here.
What do you think about, I mean, I guess it's so far out the game. It would just be dope to see somebody like sell actual units like VHS or DVD like it used to be.
I have a pile of DVDs in my garage from back in the day that I don't really know what to do with.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? How it's changed.
Unless you have like a PlayStation, who can even play a DVD anymore?
Unless you got like a real DVD player for a Blu-ray.
Yeah, you went to a pawn shop, you found it, it may or may not work.
That's about where it's going to be.
You know what I mean?
That's about where it's going to be. It's just crazy to watch just the transition overall of how you put out content or even film or anything of that nature. Your recordings of your voice of rap, or music, whatever. Everything's went so digital, man.
Fast. And then now AI.
Yeah, you know
that's going to come into my job. There's a whole
how do you
platform. So there's a whole platform I'm thinking of joining up with called JOI City, and basically it's a metaverse, right?
I was just talking to one of my friends about that today. It's crazy. They're trying to have her.
They'd scan you.
My homegirl Riley Rabbit. Shout out to her. I was talking to her today, and she was asking me like, "Hey, do you have an entertainment lawyer that can read this contract for me?" And it was a contract stating of her to come down. They want her to come down, I guess, to LA and do the AI.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But she was like, they sound like they want my IGs. Like they want everything. Like they want to claim everything. And she was like, I don't really understand the language. But
always have an entertainment lawyer read it.
And pretty much they're going to put these AIs in brothels and in places like
that's
this.
Right.
You know, and it's like, where does that really leave? Because it's virtual, right? It's all virtual. So it's like, where does that really leave the genuine, overall, real experience of actually engaging with somebody like a Cherie Deville? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they, like, I want to go meet her. You know what I'm saying? I want to see her. I want to feel that presence.
Like, in real life, not in, that's such... I'm old. I'm Gen X, right? So I like person to person. I'm not even a big texter. I'll do a phone call. I'm one of those crazy people. But you have to understand there's a whole new group of people coming up.
That's not crazy. You're real, and you came from that era where, hey, you want to say something, pick up the fucking phone.
Let's hang out.
Yeah.
Do we have a problem? We're not going to ghost each other. I'm going to talk to you about it. Even if you get mad at me, I'm comfortable with that.
Right,
you know what I mean? But there's a whole new generation of people coming up who are more comfortable on their screens. So I think you know, despite what I feel about it, I think the metaverse or AI or, you know, owning, that's what I would tell your friend. If she's going to let herself be scanned, you know, in any way, she needs to make sure that any contract she signs leaves her with the rights to her digital self, leaves her with the rights to her voice, all those other things that they might try and take away. Because if you go and you get scanned and you just own that one piece of content and you didn't read the fine print, and now they have access to a digitized version of you that they can reproduce and, heaven forbid, use your voice, you're done. Because we're at the cusp right now. Like, you would be able to own a digitized podcast, or you could, you know, have guests from around the world that were also their avatars. But if you signed a contract that signed away your likeness in that space, you'd be fucked. So like
that.
You got to break it down like that, because this is all brand new, and you know these first companies are going to want that. Right?
They're going to get it.
They're going to get some slimy slime in that contract. And unless you are a fucking lawyer, which I am not, I would pay. Look, it's worth a couple $1,000s to maintain your brand. Because what if all our brands are digital in the future and you don't even fucking own that?
I mean, I'm going to be real, Cherie. It seems like it's coming.
I think it's coming. I think it's on its way.
You know, and it's like this. I just don't want it to hurt what you and others have built throughout this time.
I want it to enhance it.
Yeah.
You know, I want like the best case scenario where I can do my own stuff in real life and I can run and manage, we'll just call it my avatar, in a digital space the way that I want to, you know, and keep the money so that, like, even when I'm 80, she can be taking 3 dicks in her ass when I'm too old to do that. You know what I mean?
Hey,
do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, by the time it's on its way.
It might, instead of, like, everyone's so worried that it's going to ruin everything. But what if it created more longevity? Like, who knows? You know, maybe it'll be good. Maybe you'll be able to, you know, even if you're like 95 and you couldn't get here to the studio, maybe you'll be able to do these from your home, from your bed, and have your like spunky, lively avatar there, because your brain is what they need. They need your brain, you know?
And I think that you're hitting home with that, because I'm like, I just feel like the early stages of AI and them bringing this, like you said, almost like an avatar, you know, they're bringing this to life. I just don't want to see it take away from the actual person itself, or like, you know, where they own you. What if there's something in that contract where like, we don't just own your avatar, we own you, your person, how you move, what you do.
Well, especially if the future of entertainment is digital, if they only own that, that might be kind of everything. So like, I would say now that it's starting to cross over into like adult and entertainment spheres, read those contracts with a fine-tooth comb. And if you have to add a paragraph for clarity, because no one knows what this space will turn into, add it. Protect yourself. Because I think you're absolutely correct in that a lot of people, performers, entertainers, whoever, are going to sign contracts that seem good in 2023 without acknowledging technology is going to continue getting bigger, wilder, crazier, and might end up signing away future rights for shit they didn't even know it exists.
All right, so you see it. We just hit 500K. You know what that means? That means you gotta subscribe and get us to 600K, because we are dangerously close to 666K. Let's go.